Hi everyone, my name is Joel Levin and I'm here with my colleague Pat Howe, and we are private school teachers here in New York City. We teach ICT classes in our school's elementary school. I teach mainly the first and second grade computer courses, and Pat here teaches the third and fourth grade. And we both had a lot of experience using games in our classroom. So Pat, I sort of got my inspiration to start using games by watching you do that. So can you talk a little bit about how you started using games in the classroom?
Sure. I started using games, a game called the Crystal Rainforest, which is an educational adventure game. And I started doing that with third grade because the theme is a rainforest, and they study the rainforest in third grade.
But it also brings in the concepts of logo programming, correct?
Yes.
And you were also doing that, so that kind of tied everything together?
Yes.
Okay. And you know, how did they respond to it?
They loved it.
They loved it?
They loved it, and it's I mean, it's a wonderful game. There was a couple of years when Terrapin, who makes it, hadn't updated it, so I went for about 2 years without being able to teach it, and then they updated it, and the update was great. So I've been back. I just started with my third grade last week.
And that's how you introduce some programming concepts and using the turtle and drawing shapes. So that's great. I myself have always used various little web games and activities, mostly things so that kids can practice. Get some practice with the mouse and the keyboard. Basically games that you really need a lot of mouse and keyboard dexterity to use. Although starting last year, I was inspired to start using Minecraft in my classroom, which is sort of kind of blown the top off of game-based learning here at our school. I really just imagined it would be a short unit. I mean, we were talking about this. I remember having a conversation. How long do you think the kids will, their interest will last in Minecraft? And we said maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We were very wrong. The kids I started teaching last year are still playing the game rapidly at home.
Yes, yes.
And so
it's a constant topic. Like, you can't even go in the cafeteria.
I cannot. The second grade teachers have asked me to stop coming in the cafeteria because it was too disruptive. All the kids would jump out of their seats and ask me questions about the game. How do I make this? How do I do that? How do I download this?
How do I set up my own server?
And so, I mean, I just, as a teacher, I guess I've been teaching about 9 years, and this is just by far the most engaged that I've ever seen kids. They're just, they can't get enough of coming into computer class and doing the activities that we set out for them. Now, I initially sort of imagined this, that they get more practice with the keyboard and mouse, and I'd start talking about internet research. They'd look up strategies and things they could do in the game on the various Minecraft wikis out there. But I very quickly, and it was you who really clued me into this, that there was more going on in the room. It gave me an opportunity to work on the whole digital citizenship side of things.
Oh, yeah.
A kid would build a house, and then another kid would go and break down their door and take their stuff. And the first kid would get very upset. And you were the one who, it was like the second or third day I was doing Minecraft, and you pulled me aside and said, this is the real lesson here. Well, do you remember this?
Well,
or?
no, I mean, there's so much to learn from Minecraft. I mean, I think if you're, maybe I'm prejudiced, but I feel like if you're going to do games, educational games, Minecraft is the perfect tool for this. First of all, I don't think it's really even a game. It's like the simulated world.
Yeah, I do think of it, I do pitch it to the kids more as a simulation than just a game. You're in this other world. In some ways it's like Earth that we all live in. Some ways it's different. And we actually go off on tangents where we're sort of laying the foundation for science. The kids will notice that you chop down a tree in Minecraft and it doesn't fall, and so we'll set up experiments to see what things in the games do obey the laws of gravity, and it's not real.
But it has a logic of its own.
Yeah, it does.
In some ways it really emulates nature. And then it's like another skill is for the kids to be able to figure out, okay, well, like, what's the logic of this world?
Right. So, the world is consistent. It's not necessarily realistic, but it's
Yeah.
consistent. And because it's consistent, you can apply a scientific method and sort of figure out how things work. But that was a tangent. But I mean, we were talking about the social aspects.
Absolutely. It's just the perfect way to be able to teach kids, and especially young kids, like we're talking 7, 8 years old, about how we treat one another online, especially in an online gaming or playing environment,
Right.
because I think there's so much going on in our culture and in the media. There is like a culture of meanness and aggression.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not just in computers; it's
Yeah.
everywhere. But
Yeah.
but I would agree, it really plays itself out. I mean, anybody who's watching who's a game player, if you put on your Xbox headset and go play a multiplayer match, I mean, just think of the way that people talk to each other, the incredibly horrible and rude and hurtful things that they say to each other, and but I grew up playing games too. There's a part of me that gets it. You've been playing games your whole life. Most games are about destruction and aggression, and you're usually only responsible for you're not responsible for your own actions. The only thing you're asked to do is to do the action that gets you the most reward.
Right.
So it's really fascinating to bring these kids into this room to play Minecraft, and then
watch that initially come to the fore, because with a lot of kids, that's just what they're used to. Even though I don't think a lot of them are playing like
they're not playing Halo or Call of Duty, but they've played games. Every single one plays games, and most games are about you walk into a room, there's a treasure chest, you get to open it and take what's there. But so this is often the first time that these kids are put in a multiplayer situation where maybe that treasure chest doesn't belong to them,
or maybe they have to share the contents of that chest with somebody else.
So I try to encourage, and in some cases actually structure my activity that they do better, they get farther, they have greater success when they do collaborate. And I think for some kids, this is the very first time that any adult in their life has ever provided structure or boundaries to a game. And
and it takes some getting used to.
Some kids get it right away.
It does, but I think that it's like, I feel like when we're doing this, I feel like, I would hope that we're providing a really good service for these kids.
I think so. I hope so.
In terms of just ethics and behavior online, and
there's a few kids that I can think of in particular that I worked with last year with Minecraft, and that I haven't had much contact with since then, although now I just started seeing them again in a Minecraft after school. And I see a real difference in how they approach the game and how they treat other people online. And it's really great. Part of that's they're a year older and they're more mature, but I like to think that we've sort of given them a baseline, a framework for how you interact with people in a game. And what we're hoping, I mean, one of the reasons our school really dove in head first and went ahead with this is we're hoping that some of these lessons are still in the back of their minds when they get on Facebook. And they start having online faceless interactions with each other. Right? Because my school, like many others, our school is struggling with these issues. I mean, kids are doing unkind, hurtful things to each other on Facebook when they get to 6th, 7th grade, or even earlier in some cases. And we've even had some suspensions. And I mean, it's very serious. And so rather than be reactionary and try to
just like, oh, don't do that.
Right. Which is, we started thinking, what can we do on an earlier level to sort of instill these values that we want them to have. And what it always comes down to, the thing that I repeat almost every single class is how you treat each other in a game or online should be exactly as how you treat somebody in
we talk
real
about
life.
the ancient golden rule.
We talk about the golden rule.
There's some things that still apply no matter if you're online
Right. I mean, they're getting this in all their classes, especially in second grade. I mean, second grade in a lot of schools is about community. It's about sort of learning how to work out your differences and respect other people. So if we can kind of encircle the kids with that and do it in a game, they get a lot. And games are great for this kind of thing. I mean, games are a microcosm of
the classroom teachers have told us that a lot of these social issues that they see coming up when the kids are on a server playing Minecraft together are a lot of the same stuff that happens in the real world.
Right, but they're writ large, so to speak. If a kid has problems sharing in the classroom, but all right, the teacher's looking at me, I'll do it. He is really going to have problems sharing in the game where kind of the barrier is down and they're just themselves. So it really gives you a chance to get in there at the core of who the kid is, and
and that they learn how to cooperate with each other, how to collaborate, how to share is as we all know, vital skills for the world.
Absolutely.
We live in.
Absolutely. So maybe we should close this off by we've sort of talked about kind of what the end goal is, and how great game-based learning can be when it all clicks, but. I guess maybe we can end by how would you recommend that a new teacher or a teacher who hasn't done this before get started?
Well, I think that it's really important to. I mean, for me, it was easy because Joel was here, and
I'm a gamer, so
and because I'm not a gamer. So I think that it helps to really be connected to a community. There's your blog is a really good way.
Minecraftteacher.net. Yes.
And it helps if you're a creative person. It helps if you're flexible.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both agree it's really hard to come up with a strict lesson plan. Like, here's the bullet point. We're gonna do this, then this, then this. Because it just falls apart.
Yeah, it's not that kind of sequential.
Right. The kids are going to surprise you. The kids are gonna pick up on different things in the game than you expected, and they're gonna run up with it. And rather than have that derail your lesson, you really have to be clued in. Well, what are they saying? Yeah. What can I teach them from this moment?
It really is a very mutual experience when you're in an environment like this with the kids. And what I think is good too. I mean, my suggestion would be to get Minecraft or get a copy of Minecraft EDU and just start playing with it.
You're such a good salesperson.
No,
get Minecraft EDU. Well, whatever game. I mean, whatever game you're going to start with. I mean, you really have to play the game yourself. I've had a lot of teachers come up to me and say, "Hey, this Minecraft thing is great. Just show me how to get started. I want to get started next week." And I say, "Well, wait a minute. I mean, have you played Minecraft before?" And they'll say no, and I'm like, have you played this type of game before? And they say no, but I see you've had a lot of success. I want that. And I always say, no, you've got to at the very least, spend a weekend seriously playing this game, if not a couple weeks.
Yeah, I played with it because in watching Joel teach it last year, I knew that I wanted to. Actually, I did. I used your demo world to with I think what was it, my third grade. Or third grade or fourth grade, but it's that this summer, I played with it at home. I set up a server. I looked for help for the stuff that I wasn't.
And in a game like Minecraft, there's an incredible community online.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's tons of resources online for that. But I think what we're saying doesn't only apply to Minecraft. It applies to any game that you feel is intriguing or fits with your curriculum or fits with what you set out to teach. Spend the time with the game, try to figure out everything that can go wrong ahead of time, and then
things will still go wrong that you didn't think of.
Right, but if you've got a baseline familiarity,
and the kids basically they're to say they're happy is a real understatement.
Yeah, I mean I've had kids. This is so meaningful to me as a teacher. I have kids tell me, I woke up this morning, I really didn't want to come to school today, and then I remembered there was computer class, and I couldn't wait to get here. I mean, what better thing could you hear as a teacher? I've had older students tell me that they are interested in becoming teachers themselves because they sort of, this opened their eyes to them that they could take something that they were passionate about and bring it into the classroom. And that's what it,
This I think that using Minecraft, 'cause I know that now there's a huge trend, as we know, for game-based learning, educational games learning. And, the thing that we need to avoid is like Minecraft helps us to do that automatically, because it's not just like, oh, let me just take my curriculum and plug it into something. Minecraft is highly creative, first person thinker environment. And I mean, it's just the kids are really getting almost like it's almost like a total learning experience on so many different levels.
I agree. Yeah. So I think that's it. I hope you've learned something, and I don't know. This was fun. Should we chat again sometime?
Of course, I'd love to.
Okay. All right. High five. Okay.